I'm not gonna do the whole guess what game this is because there's a title, and if you can read, you know what it is. It's WCW NWO Revenge, which on the N64, which in my opinion is probably one of the better wrestling games on there. I was a WWF fan growing up, but I had Attitude in WrestleMania 2000. This game was better. Now, I know if you're looking at the opening, if you've never seen this game before, you're like, what the hell? A billboard? A truck coming down the road? What does this have to do with wrestling, or more so WCW? It gets good. Being as a kid, I always watched the opening cinematics, and I sat here and I was like, what the hell? I expected to see wrestlers, I expected to see the ring, the moves, so we'll sit here and watch. We got more of the semi-truck. All of a sudden looks like a tombstone, lights on fire. We're like, okay, what's going on? A man's there. And I'm like, well, oh, hell yeah. We identify as Sting, and we're like, what's going on? Is Sting gonna blow up the semi-truck? Well, no, he doesn't, but...
What?
Oh, there's Hogan. The heartbeat's starting. And as a kid, I was like, whoa, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And pretty much he played his NWO guitar, which was a little bit of a letdown, but we started to see people, you know, Nash and stuff. Alright, this was the N64. People looked kind of like they're supposed to, obviously blocky. It was way overdone on the muscles, but what can we say? We saw the opening and we're like, hell yeah, Goldberg spears the camera. You know, let's go ahead and let's just play. It should be an awesome game if it's everything we remember it to be. Macho Man, rest in peace. Press start. Rumble pack supported. Insert a rumble pack. Okay. Right away, champion, exhibition, special match, costume change. One thing, if you play this game, you might note that this game was played with the D-pad on the N64, not the analog stick. And if you used the analog stick, it was used mostly for cheering, which brought up your special bar, which we'll see when we get into a match, which, if you have never played before. Also, it could be used as a cheat. If you were in a submission, to get instantly out of it, you would just rock the analog stick. If you were being pinned, you could rock the analog stick and get instantly out of it. So, you know, it could be used for good or bad, I guess. We're gonna go ahead, and I just left out. Look at the options. Stereo music's on, replays are on, realism is off. Referee, gosh, he's annoying as fuck, but we'll leave him on. We'll pretty much leave everything on easy. I'll do a match on easy before I go into my campaign. We're gonna eventually go for the championship. I'll go over there's gonna be the heavyweight, then you've got the cruiserweight, you've got the tag team and stuff like that. We're gonna go in and get all of those in time, but I'm a little rusty and I don't know how good I'll do. Special matches, we have the Battle Royale, and then we have the typical handicap. Handicap, that's 2v1. Battle Royale, you gotta throw the people over the top to win. Costume change, we'll go ahead and look at this. Okay, here we have Hulk Hogan, and he's got his NWO with his shirt off, but there's multiple costumes that we can actually look into. We select Hulk Hogan. We can change his name, which obviously right now he's got Hollywood Hulk Hogan. People can, you know, change it to just Hulk Hogan. Costumes, they're not limited to just a wrestler set of costumes. Basically, you have access to every single costume in the game, as well as masks. So looking at Hogan, we can just change him to whatever we want. He's on costume 20. There we go, he's wearing Nash's outfit and everything like that. Scott Hall, everything like that. I thought that was cool. You could put a mask on. Hogan's got his other face, you know, stuff like that. Also, you could change the colors, which, believe it or not, this was very good customization for back in the day. If you got him to the color set we wanted, and let's say we wanted Hulk Hogan in red pants, or blue, or green, purple, orange, anything like that, it was your choice. You could do what you want. something to note. If you rented this game from Blockbuster, which I did, you would have people, like, remember, this is when stuff saved to the cartridge sometimes, you would have different names, you would have different costumes. It was just hilarious. We'll go over the roster real quick as well. We got Hollywood Hulk Hogan. We've got the Giant, which if you watch wrestling now, it's the Big Show. Bryan Adams, Scott Hall, who wish he would come back, but he doesn't. Scott Norton, Buff Bagwell, probably my favorite wrestler on this game. Eric Bischoff, who, yeah, doesn't look anything like he does nowadays. Scott Steiner, when he was actually relevant. Hanzo Man, the ninja. This was really cool. This is, remember, when wrestling was gimmicky, this was, you know, these superhero type things. They were very popular, if you remember the Hurricane and all that stuff. Ming Chi, gosh, some of these guys, Dave Ken, Bukowski, Kimchi. He's a bitch to wrestle against. Hawk Hanna is also a bitch to wrestle against. Now, if you look at the top two, these guys are from NWO White. Then I'm going left. You got DAW. You've got the EWF AKI Man, who's also one of my favorites in this game. Shogun, who's kind of cool. Executioner. Dr. Frank, who was pretty sweet. Jekel, my Inca boy. Now we're at WCW 4, going backwards. Chris Jericho. Eddy Guerrero, rest in peace. Psychosis, who's pretty good in this game. Rey Mysterio, when he was Rey Mysterio Jr. Dean Malenko. If you've got people who haven't wrestled in, you know, a long time. Ultimo Dragon, which you know how I feel about the WWF screwed him. Chavo Guerrero Jr. Alex Wright. Stevie Ray. Him and Booker T are a pretty good tag team in this. La Parka, who can also be dangerous. Larry, Saturn, Perry Saturn, Disco Inferno. Oh boy, I couldn't believe when TNA brought him back. Jim Neidhart, British Bulldog, Glacier, Van Hammer, Diamond Dallas Page, Goldberg, Bret, Hart. My gosh, he's not an old man. Chris Benoit, I don't know about rest in peace since you went psycho and killed your family. This one, Rick Steiner was there. Finley, before we knew him as Finley in the WWF. Booker T, before we knew him as Tough Enough Trainer / announcer. So now we have the Ravens Flock faction, which of course is led by Raven, Lodi. Got Riggs, Sick Boy, and Reese. Peanut Butter Cups. Here's NWO Red, Kevin Nash. Sting, who's pretty fun to play, I'm not gonna lie. Lex Luger, ooh, Macho Man, rest in peace. Poor Macho Man. And Konnan. And then we go back